Hello, everybody. Firstly, this is how you're going to do a $23,000 launch with your coaching and your consulting offer. My name's Jamal. Let's just get into it. Anyway, the plan has phases. Before we get into the phases, you need to focus on three things: get traffic, convert those traffics into interested leads, and convert those leads into sales. Right? Phase one is always going to be the market research phase. If you know your ICP, which is your ideal client profile, better than they know like themselves to an extent, right? And if you have a sense of relatability towards them in your VSL, in your copywriting, and all these other things, right? You're obviously going to be able to sell to them better. The better you know your person, the easier it is to sell to them. I know. So as I said, understand your ICP and then build tons of hype. This market research phase lasts maybe around 5 to about 10 days, however long. Maybe people usually just go a week to be safe, right? And all it is one part understanding your ICP, so doing some market research questions. Some of the questions may consist of what's your pain point? I mean, what's the biggest issue in your life? Why aren't you there? What's your biggest roadblock? Um, what is I don't know, what is your desired outcome? Just things like that, things of that nature. The reason as to why is because then now you understand them. Anyway, also use this time, those 7 days or however long it needs to be, to build a hype around it. So you can do something called like a 5 day launch or something where you offer value for 5 days straight and you tell them and you give them a CTA at the end of it saying, oh yeah, this is the countdown. We got 4 days left. We got 3 days left. We got 2 days left. And you're offering tons and tons of value and you're building hype around the launch. Right? You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna launch something. And then you post little sneak peeks, some things of intrigue on your story, right? And then obviously optimize your profile. So this is an example of somebody who has an optimized profile. This person has the Discord, the lifestyle testimonials. This one is probably the most important one because people buy what other people have bought, right? And then um, yeah, the Discord that he ends up putting them in, he's got free Discord and he's got a paid Discord or whatever. This person's probably doing around like $100,000 a month, easy, right? Surprisingly, you probably think, oh yeah, he doesn't have that many followers. Yeah. Anyways, phase two is the launch phase. Yeah, phase two is the launch phase. Okay, so the launch phase is when you have launched your product, right? And then you are now just trying to garner more and more leads, right? So, for example, you would tell the creator, oh yeah, post something like that is of value, and then say DM me for the guide or DM me for this. So this is the idea of appointment setting. Okay, your appointment set to get them into. Oh yeah, I probably didn't even mention this part about the email marketing system with the lead magnet, where you'll tell them, oh yeah, to be added to the wait list. Um, just get this free ebook or whatever to be added to the wait list, then they will put you onto their email marketing list, which you can also post on your launch. So on launch day, you can re-DM them, re-message them, saying, "Oh yeah, here's the launch that you was waiting for. We put you on the wait list. We got a cheaper price for you guys because you guys were on the wait list. You guys were already here." Nah. Shut your mouth, bro. Anyway, after that, right, you continue to DM set, then you create a funnel, right? Obviously, the funnel will be created before this. This will have a different funnel, it'll be like the lead magnet funnel. Then this one will be the actual sales funnel, right? Where you will have a big promise, VSL, CTA, value build, qualifying maybe process, and then another CTA. Just just has a similar format, right? As to be as concise and direct as possible, right? And everything on this page, copywriting page, should be based upon the market research questions that you've done in the first question, right? So the fact that you ask some market research questions here, every single aspect of this part should be done there, right? Okay. Then, if you was to create like a free community, I would suggest to do something like a higher ticket offer, mainly because it's significantly easier to sell something that is high ticket than it is to sell something that is low ticket, right? So if you was to sell something, if you was to sell a $3,000 offer to somebody, or sell 30 people on a $300 offer, which one's easier to sell? $300 offer with 30 different people, or just 3K offer with one person. Obviously, the 3K offer with one person. Or even if you was to do something even lower ticket, like $30, now you have to sell 300 people. No, I have to sell another 30. Wait, am I bugging? Anyway, it doesn't matter, right? After that, once you have created the essential funnel just means basically like once they have bought one thing, then you funnel them into something higher and higher and higher. This only works if you're going to do something low ticket, like a mini course or something like that, or a community, and then the community kind of acts as a central funnel because people buy from someone that they've already bought from. The easiest person to sell to is someone that you've already sold to, and then the second person easy person to sell to is someone who gets a referral. Okay, so always look to sell to somebody that you've already sold to. Okay, now for high ticket we do something called the cohort system, which is basically you the first when you launch something you have 10 people, right, and it's actual real genuine scarcity. And after that, the reason that's why you do 10 is because once you provide results with these people you can open it up again. And also it's those people that you have told, oh yeah, because obviously more than 10 people might want to be in it, right? So after you told those other people, oh yeah, you are not allowed to be in it because we are full up, and it's actually an objective truth to them, like you can't be in it, we're not allowing you in because we're full. Basically, when it comes to when it next opens up, they're gonna snap at the opportunity quick. So you're basically saving a lead for later, right? Because that lead now actually they were interested, they were intrigued, they were a hot lead, they wanted to jump on the call, and then you said no, we're full up. You are not prioritized, so they want to be in that position of prioritization. So they're obviously gonna say, oh yeah, um, like add me, that FOMO. It's a biological human trait to be a part of a tribe, right? And to be a part of the inner circle, right? So if you frame it in that way where it's like an inner circle thing, then they're gonna be like upset that they didn't get in the first time, and the ego's gonna hit them and they're gonna jump at it the second time, right? And also you can use this cohort system to build excellent case studies, right? So if you build excellent case studies and you're getting paid basically to do market research, if somebody asks you, if you like most of the time with this course system, you don't even need a course. Like you don't even need to have a course. All you need to do is have like one-to-one access and mentorship, right? Then you can understand directly rather than a few market research questions or a few market research calls. You can ask them directly, what is your biggest problem? And you can see it in real time. Which ones are the biggest issues? And if you know even more and more and more as to what their issues are, then it is easier and easier to sell to them, which means you create a better product and a better service, which means you can obviously it's like a flywheel. The better the product is, the better the results. The better the results, the more clients. Uh, uh, the more clients, obviously, the more clients because of the fact that you have so many case studies, and the fact that you have so many case studies shows that your product's better than the rest. UCP, USP, USP. Anyways, so that's the core system. Then afterwards is the growth phase where you're gonna open up again, right? You're gonna start messaging your email marketing list. You can start messaging email marketing list towards the start, obviously. But I'm talking about like you'll try to actually delve and get everything from them, right? Then you can start introducing different marketing strategies like webinars. This another person that's in kind of the space that we Ben Beta, he does webinar funnel. He has a webinar funnel for his clients. Apologies. He does a webinar funnel for his clients, and he probably does around 300K depending on the client from the webinar funnel. And there's no sales team. It's usually just a webinar funnel. The person acts as the actual individual, sells them at the end, and then they buy. And then afterwards, you can also help them with some like content scripting that help convert the info product back. So basically, the growth stage is just doubling down on the content and trying to the reason as to why people do in successful in this space is because in the coaching and consulting space and the info product space is because they do not let any lead sip through the cracks. So if you try catch every single lead and you post on Instagram, post on TikTok, post on whatever, or you see, oh yeah, most of my traffic and most of my conversions is coming from YouTube. So why don't I just triple down in YouTube, and then I have a short form editor who just cuts up my YouTube videos to short form and then does that rather than me sitting down actually dedicating time towards my reels and my TikToks. It makes a lot more logical sense to put that into um, the other thing. Now, after that, right, it is phase four. Phase four is going to be the post organic reach. So once you've reached your organic cap, like you you are, or let's say you have 50,000 followers or whatever, and you reach the cap of $150,000 a month, and you've been at this cap for the last 2-3 months, and you've obviously tried new systems, tried new things, and it's always just staying at that cap. This is when you start investing into paid ads, right? The reason as to why you invest into paid ads is because you are basically saying you're paying for someone to see you. And that's beneficial because if your product or your service is good enough, or your VSL, your actual ad is good enough and more convincing enough, the problem that you solve is big enough, then it is an easier sell. So for example, one person like that I work with is in the Airbnb niche, right? People who want to go into the Airbnb niche understand that there's upfront cost for Airbnb in general, which means that they have disposable income. That's why it's a lot easier to sell someone an Airbnb offer with a high ticket, right? Because they already have that disposable income. Otherwise, they wouldn't be looking into Airbnb. So you only talk to qualified leads, basically, right? That's why when we do ads and someone says, "Oh yeah, I want to do Airbnb," they understand. Oh yeah, there's upfront cost, which means that they have disposable income. And now I digress. When I'm talking about in like for in general, in normal example, like a phone reselling or whatever, or one of these other gurus that cater towards younger, like 18 to 25 year olds, then you're paying for them to see you, which increases firstly brand awareness or personal brand. Maybe they'll go on it, and even if they don't buy from you, they will go on your thing, your social media, and they'll start gaining value from you, from your Instagram, from your YouTube, whatever. And then maybe subscribe, maybe drop a follow, anything like that. And then it's a beneficial thing. You still probably get something out of it. And if you're doing a high ticket offer, it is easy to cover the margin. So let's just say you spent $500 on ads and you only got one conversion. If that one conversion is at 1.5K, you've done a 3 times ROAS, which is a return on ad spend, right? Which is incredible, right? Which is not incredible, which is a good thing, right? So then if you was to, obviously there is a point of diminishing return. So if you used to spend 10K, then you're probably not going to get 30K. You probably get around 15K maybe, because of the fact that um, it's a little bit more difficult. Anyway, um, just understand that once once you start posting ads and you do high ticket, it's significantly easier. If you was to start posting ads on low ticket, it's significantly harder. So that's the 4 phases anyway. Regardless, the 4 phases start at the market research phase and the building hype phase, and then it goes to the post launch phase, which is like the cohort system if it's high ticket, or if it's lower ticket, then it's managing a community, or the nurturing team, right? Or even just pushing out that course, saying, "Oh yeah, people buy my course." Oh, and then afterwards is going to be the growth phase where you just double down on content, which is basically a mixture of these two, because you will still be doing market research in this phase, and still be asking more questions, and then after that you can funnel them into your actual offer, right? And then this is the last part of the phase, really, which can be infinitely scalable, really, which is the ads systems. So if you do this one and then add this one, that's what creates like a monster personal brand. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching the video. That is how you do a $23,000 launch. Um, if you would want to work with me, if you're a coach and a consultant yourself and you'd like to work with me, send me a message on Instagram at @thejaymustafa. We could probably have a conversation. And if you're an infopreneur or growth operator, anything like that, join my info product community, which is called the Infopreneur community. I want to start pushing the idea of being an infopreneur rather than, a growth operator. Yeah. So coaches and consultants, send me a message. I'll speak to you soon.